All right, hello everybody, and welcome to this very exciting stream today where we will be covering my very first race on MyWhoosh. So we're about 5 minutes out from the start, and you might have seen I did a little preview at the weekend. I did just a few kilometer ride on MyWhoosh just to see what it's like, and checking my settings here. Just checking, yep, everything's connected there. That's all looking good. Just slightly confused because it doesn't say that I'm putting out any power in the game though, so that is slightly alarming at this stage. So let's see if I can repair. So here's a good overview of what the interface on MyWhoosh looks like. So not quite sure what's happening just here at the moment. See, not picking up any readings from the reso there. There we go. Right, that's working. Heart rate's on. Ooh, not sure it's quite that high though, but all right, there we go. Right, 2 minutes before the start. There we go. I've got some power at the top of the screen now. You can see that bar there that I'm on the green. And power up a little bit, it will shoot up to yellow and into the red zone. Right, so setup, as you can see, looks pretty familiar. You've got your power numbers there, your heart rate, your cadence. When we get going, you'll see we get a mini map up in the top right-hand corner. All pretty standard things, really, for an online cycling platform. Today's race will be 45 kilometers, and there's round about 290 meters of climbing. So fairly flat over that distance. We're in the desert somewhere. I've not been able to see too much info about the course. I did watch some of the women's race earlier, which was over 35 kilometers. So a little bit shorter. I think it will be quite a fast start. I don't really know how this is going to go. It's new to me. I've not been able to practice any drafting. And I know there are some absolute hitters in here. Bruce Bird. I know he's got an FTP of around about 420 watts. Michael Knudsen, he's in here as well. Both of them have been doing a few races on MyWhoosh, so they'll be ones to watch out for. And there's a rider called Mr. X100 as well, who is also a pretty good rider. I've watched a few of the race streams that have been taking place on the previous Fridays. Right, 10 seconds from the start then. Kick up this. What's the kilo? Let's see how we get on then. MyWhoosh, here we go. Oh, and I've whooshed through everybody straight off the front of the group. We're all sprinting here. Trying to ease off a little bit. I'm in the pack. Away we go. So a little icon there that says I'm drafting at the moment. See that green text at the top. Whoosh. Pace is staying on. Here's a wicked start. Right, let's try and settle in a little bit. Oh, attack off the front. So 20 riders in this race. You see on the right hand side the leaderboard. Another attack then. First little climb. There's nothing on offer for these sprints. Oh. This is insane. This is really hard. Cheers, Jose. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's hard. Full gas. I'm popped. Oh. I'm done. Bloody hell. That is insane. Oh. That pace is really tough. I'm not seeing much draft saving. Oh, giving it a go. Be intriguing to see my numbers. And I am a little fatigued. I did set a 20-minute PB on Wednesday. I went pretty hard for that. Yeah, that did look pretty familiar. Oh. So this guy next to me, we got the same jersey, but we're not teammates. You get assigned a jersey randomly by MyWhoosh, by the events team. Yeah, 8 minutes in, there was no settling down of the pace. Oh. Well, we're giving it a go. We know what it's like now. Hard. Oh. I need to go get under that waterfall. Cool down a little bit. I'm not last. 2 guys behind me. 1 person dropped out. Oh, it's the front of the race. Just another 600 watt output up that 1.4% hill. Back to me then. Yeah, that front. Let's go have a look at that front. There they are then. So, there's nothing on offer for these sprints, but it does blow up the race. It's funny, on these sprint sections, you almost want to come through last and finish first. That's how you get the best times in those segments. Another attack there, off the front. Oh, just constant. We're watching Mr. X100, 440 watts. I'm pushing for that sprint finish line. Looks like they've dropped another rider though. Jose Diaz taking that win then. Yeah, Knudsen is. He's a good endurance rider. Back to me, I've just been dropped a little bit. Plus I've been following the front of the race. Stopping out an average 3.5 or so, pretty handy. But we might catch. I've been dropped. There's still 35k to go. Just a little bit of stream lag. Bit of interference there, sorry about that guys. Ah. All right, caught up then. Caesar Martingale, just in front. The stream should be coming back now. So I am Bluetoothing from my Wi-Fi from my iPad to my TV so that I can stream this. So there's a bit going on with the system. So we're on a bit of a climb now then. Not very steep. A couple of riders 30 seconds ahead of us. Let's try and get back to the front of this race if I can. There we go. So 2 minutes up the road from me, 1.5 kilometers. So I don't know much about a lot of these guys. Bruce Bird, Michael Knudsen. I know they've been racing. Pablo Popovich, Mr. X100, Boris Clark, Philip Graves, yeah. I've seen them in doing some events on MyWhoosh, but I've not seen them racing on any other platforms. But the sign-up process, why do you keep dropping? Yeah, the sign-up process is quite thorough. You do have to send in a video weigh-in. You also have to have dual recording. Back to me then, back on my own again. Looks like Oscar has passed Boris Clark. He's 50 metres ahead of me. So I'm on course here for overtaking someone. Bit of news from the Independent from you there. Apparently do not disturb mode does not apply to news. Oh, overtaking Boris there, looks like he's done. So up into 15th, 20 starters. Not exactly a stellar performance. And about a third of the way into this race then. Hope that bridge gets filled in up ahead. Looks like there's a big gap in it. Just trying to catch up to Oscar Martingale. And ahead of him, a couple of riders, another 1.5 minutes up the road from him. Front group are now 3.5 minutes up the road. So it's like 11 riders still in that front group. Hi Darren, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, there's not much nuance to it. Not quite sure what my average power was for those first 8 minutes, but it felt pretty high. I'll have a look afterwards on my Strava. My Whoosh does link into Strava. Be interesting to see where this route shows up on the world map, whether it's a fictional world or this is based on a real world. Not sure, but we'll soon find out. The hill coming up ahead. See it on the top right profile. Before we get there, let's have a little look. Front of the group. They're coming up to the top of that hill. James Harvey, Mitch Berry. Looks like they're struggling to hang on. A little bit more separation then. Now on the downhill section, 5%. Oh, look at that, you can see the road going up the hill in the distance. It looks like I've possibly got that to come in the not too distant future. So these guys at the front, they are competing for cash money prizes. There's a prize pot of 30,000 local currency dollars, UAE dollars, which works out at around £6,000. There's 2,000 Great British pounds on offer for the winner of this race. And then there's prizes for second, third, fourth, and fifth place as well. So big money prizes on offer. See why they're racing hard. So back to me, 15th place. I'm out of the money. Might be able to get up to 12th place. But the front of this race is long gone. Looks like I'm in a 10-kilometre section now, another segment. See in the top left there, desert ride. Currently half a kilometre in 1 minute. Oscar is now 12 seconds ahead of me. Putting out a decent power as well. I've actually closed the poll. 75% of you thought I was going to go all the way in the pack. It was very generous of you, very optimistic. I thought you guys knew me. But yeah, not today. More training required by the looks of it if I want to compete with these machines. It's all in together, there's no race categories. It's just open racing. As you saw, it's relentless. Oh, some fluids in. So I was quite surprised that it never really settled down. I don't know if it's because of those segments. It just seemed like people were constantly attacking. It's a long race. Sometimes it pays to keep the numbers in the pack a little bit higher initially. Makes the race a bit shorter. You're still going to drop people like me on this climb. A little bit of respite over the top. So Oscar's just holding in front of me up the road at 12 seconds. It's probably a good thing I wasn't racing for money today, because I actually forgot to do my dual recording. Schoolboy error. Forgot to press start on my Garmin. And a biggie, right back to the start. Here's the group. Got another bit of a climb. So if I'm right, there's 290 meters of climbing. Oh, looks like it's struggling to pair to the big screen now. What's going on here then? Let's see if I can do a reconnect a minute. There we go. Oh, no internet connection, it says there. That's not good. There we go. Pull back. I think that's just because I'm trying to stream from my iPad to the TV. We're still working on the iPad. That wasn't the app. That was an issue. That was my Wi-Fi. Probably just doing a little bit too much. Oh. So yeah, no prizes today. Forgot to dual record. No drafting by the looks of it, but I know that they are working on a new version, which is due out in a couple of months. So that might provide a different drafting mechanism. As we know, these online platforms are always adjusting things. RGT have just released version 2 of their drafting mechanism. Probably even more than version 2, to be honest. Zwift have been tweaking theirs. They've been back and forth, and rolling it out and rolling it back. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this get tweaked in future updates. Yeah, so what was I saying? We've got this climb coming up. I go back to the front group here. They've done 235 meters of climbing, and they're just over halfway. It's 290 meters in total. They've done 80% of the climbing in the first half, which means this second half must be fairly flat. Maybe one or two little bumps. Interesting scenery there over the road. Look at that. 10 riders in that front group then. Pushing hard at these segments. No cash prizes for the segment. I don't think there's any bonus seconds. You're just racing for a virtual jersey. Bit of virtual glory. Probably just tiring yourself out. Back to me. Oscar's got away from me now, 30 seconds ahead. Bit of on-screen support there. Moreno to his friend of his called Hassan. There is an in-app messaging system. I'm out in the desert on my own at the minute. This long drag uphill. It's only a 1% gradient. That mini map in the top right hand corner, not quite sure how much of the road ahead that shows. Try and work that out at some point. So I'm at 21 kilometers. We'll see how far in I am when I crest this climb. See if I can just push the watts up a little bit. Try and catch Oscar. Don't know if he's watching. Aren't many live streams for MyWhoosh. It's not that popular just yet. Sure it'll head that way, especially with these prize funds on offer. Big prize pots. Not making too much inroads into Oscar here, despite a steady 4 watts per kilo. Within a kilometre of the halfway point then. Bit of a downhill to come in a few hundred metres. Random bits of scenery there, the lower part. White monument. I think I've got that on a t-shirt. Coming up to a big roundabout. Maybe a downhill section. Oh, we're going this way. Not expecting to go left, but we're not in England, are we? So we're going the other way towards that tunnel. So I've gained a bit of time back on Oscar. He was at 30 seconds. Now he's at 10 seconds. Ah, 20 seconds, so I've gained 10 seconds. Some more big watts being thrown down by these guys at the front then. 6, 7, 8 watts per kilo. I think I must have just hit a little bit of uphill then. I'm not watching myself, I'm watching the front of the race. Felt like I hit a bit of resistance to feel the trainer kicking in. These guys are going really steady, 400 watts. But they're pushing towards that segment arch just up ahead. That pace is relentless. Maybe 9 guys in that front group now, 9 or 10. Everyone's sticking together in that front section then. To me, trying to catch Oscar, not really happening. 2 guys ahead of us are getting away as well. Right, well, I'm over halfway, still 20k to go. Steady in the position I'm in, so I'm going to follow Bruce Bird here, front of the race. He is, got his mask on. A few different camera angles then in MyWhoosh. Oh, I'm going to stream him past, he has to get on the power. But there we go, a good overhead shot. We're all pushing. Good for his heart rate, 146. Doesn't even seem like he's trying, but heart rate is very personal. Just constant attacks. They're just constantly sprinting. So put it in context, I'm a rider on Zwift. My FTP is around about 4.3 watts per kilo. To about 325 watts for an hour. And these guys just destroyed me within 8 minutes. I've been on my own pretty much ever since. I have had Oscar a little bit up the road for company. These guys are constantly attacking each other, pushing out the big watts. Slightly gaining on Oscar, still 15 seconds in. There's a chance I might catch him before the end. Maybe try and get a bit of draft. Nothing. We should just team up and work together instead of riding individually. It's starting to come back into view now. So there's lots of big junctions here. I don't quite know. I've not really explored the wider world, how it works. If it's a big open world, you can choose as you're riding around which way you want to go. It's all just set routes. It does look like there's different routes within this map or world. I'll have to look on Strava and have a look to see just how it maps out. It looked like at the start of the race, we went out, did a loop, and came back in on ourselves. Very random scenery. Look, we've got a motel here, 60s style. Big satellite dishes. Big random arrows there on the right hand side. There's certainly plenty to look at. If I am a bit behind the front of the race, that's 60% of the race done. It's going to be a bit over an hour. I was doing this in my lunch break today. Got up early as well, so I could get the extra hours in. Back to the day job after this, which currently is paying a little bit better. Not making any prize money today. Yeah, 45 kilometres. It's a long one. Be a bit quicker if you can stay in the pack for a bit longer. There wasn't much chance of that today. You might just see on the bottom there, on the scrolling news feed, Giro d'Europa, new 5-day stage race on RGT cycling. It's coming up at the end of the month. 5 days straight. Jump in and do any stage. We'll do all 5 for an overall GC. We're going to be streaming all of those races. Multiple camera angles. 2 commentators. Guest appearances. Going to be teaming up with ZMS live streams. Excellent broadcast partner. See, they've been watching and commenting in the live chat today. We've got some chat, I've got a live stream, but this production is amateur level compared to those guys. I'll be racing all 5 stages, as well as commentating the usual, like this stuff. If I can distract myself from the race, maybe I can go a bit longer. So check that out. Follow V Cycling News on Facebook for all the details of that. That was a crazy fast start, Stuart, you're right. I know we had a little chat beforehand. He said just try and learn the draft and stick with it. Well, I tried. But yeah, I think, you know, you're right. No, none of these online platforms are a finished article just yet. But it's a really good starting position. I think proof of concept has been used as a phrase. I think that's probably a little bit unfair. Because frankly, okay, the graphics could be improved slightly, but I'm sure if you had a load of Zwift riders on here, the races would play out very similar. You know, put some numbers of riders on here, build a bit of a community, and you've got a functioning platform. There's events, there's open worlds, there's a lot of routes you can go and explore, different scenery, there is a level up system. So you're right, and I know that they are working on an improved version that hopefully will have Android support, Windows support. You see there, just in front of me, that the road going up the mountain. That looks steep. Luckily we're not going that way. I can see in the top right the profile stays flat. We go round to the left. Slowly gaining an Oscar, getting closer. There he is. I've got him in my sights. And on V-Cycling News, you know, we say, I just dropped my towel on the floor. That's not what we say. We say, we can ride on all the platforms. You don't have to be exclusive to one. I've got my favourite. Other people have got their favourites. Today's been a really solid workout. I had to work hard at the start. I'm keeping it on, trying to close this gap for pretty much 20 kilometres. Slowly getting there. Well, I think you're giving me the benefit of the doubt there, Stuart. I think I just got a bit gassed. Oh, here's a rider that's Hassan Aramatiti, or Aramatifi. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. So I've gained another position. I'm up into 14th then. Front of the race is 10 minutes up the road. They're 5 kilometres from the finish. Oh no, not quite. 45-kilometre race. Still trying to find my way around this user interface a little bit. It is a bit different. Let's put a little effort in, close this gap, get onto Oscar's wheel. If I can get a bit of draft saving from him. There we go, got the close the gap to draft symbol there. Top left, look, King of the Desert. Starts in 300 metres. Interesting that Oscar has got a jersey on there. So at some point he must have won a segment. Maybe he just went too hard and caused him to blow up a little bit. Well, we both seem to have eased up a bit. I don't know if that's just because I've caught up. Up to the side, I'm not getting in behind at the minute. But it says drafting, I have eased up a bit. Not getting dropped. Got a 10-kilometre section here then. It does feel like there is a bit of draft. Tells me I'm drafting. I'm down at 2 watts per kilo. Oscar's there at 2.9 to 3. And I'm not being dropped, but I've just slightly caught up there. We are varying. Well, I've eased up too much now. Our wattage is varying a bit, so it's hard to That's fine, you can stay in front, Darren. I'll take the drafting benefit. There's a long way to go on this segment yet. Still 13 kilometers of this race yet, so bit of a way. Right, I'm gonna jump back to the front of the race. This is Mitch Ferry, who looks like he's been dropped from that front group. So Philip Graves. Look at them steaming up this bridge, this glass bridge. It is really strung out now. Looks like to be a bit of a deciding section. Nine riders or so still in this front group then. Come up this bridge. Oh, and I've got in front. I'm just trying to flip between the two, just because I want to make sure I don't get gapped again by Oscar now that I've caught back up to him. Put all that effort in. I don't want to get dropped. There is a little split opening up here. 5 riders up the road. 6 riders. That's the prize money right there. Don't want to get dropped at this late stage. They come down off the bridge. Bit of a roller. Oh no, just the traffic's catching up. So they're into the last 5 kilometers then. Big wide open road. We'll come back to them in a bit. Making sure that I'm still here with Oscar. We've got that climb to come then. Still another 50 meters of elevation on this route. Seems to be mostly on that bridge by the looks of it. So thanks a lot everyone for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Giving you something different today, MyWhoosh. Do something I will try again. Like I said, it's been a good workout. Really had to push. On RGT there is more of a draft. It is a bit more nuanced. So you can ease off. You can manage your effort. That means you're not always pushing your hardest. I've certainly been pushed today. 10 kilometers to go, pretty much. Well, I've stuck with it. About early on, like maybe just jacking it in. We're getting dropped so early. But it's been an experience. All learning. Maybe next time I can go a bit deeper, come in a little bit fresher. But we've got a bit of a downhill section coming up, that'd be nice. So we've got a 6-minute gap behind us, 4.5 minutes up ahead, it's just the two of us. Bearing any technical difficulties, us two will be battling each other for the might of 13th place. They'll be approaching 1 hour. I reckon 1 hour 12 minutes will be our finish time. Just cruising at the minute. They seem to be content to be doing the lion's share of the work. It's fine by me. Bit more scenery here. Lots of interesting scenery. It's been pretty long routes, but there's been stuff all the way along to look at. Right, back to the front of the race. These guys are 2 kilometers from the finish then. Mr. X100 going on the attack. 500 watts. They are pushing. 1.5K to go. Got prize money up for grabs from this group. 9 riders fighting. 1 kilometer to go, just about. I think Mr. X100 does have a good sprint. Bruce Bird, he's still up there, he's got a good sprint. Big engine. Saying 6 watts per kilo. After almost an hour of racing. Looks like the finish line up ahead, 500 meters then. Gonna see some big numbers. Look at them go. Bruce Bird, 12.6 watts per kilo. Knudsen, 13.6. This X100, it looks like it's just been gapped. If they go towards the finish line, Michael Vink up there. The X100 has been done. Wow, what a long sprint that was. Bruce Bird was up there, not quite sure who the winner was. We'll bring you that at the end. I'm still here then with Oscar. Feels like there's a bit more draft now. Might be that I've just eased up a little bit. Coming up to a climb then. Looks quite steep. Straight up. This is going to be painful. Oh. Oh, and I've dropped Oscar momentarily. Hit the 7.5%. Brilliant, he's coming back at me. Oh, we're up the steep section. So I know, Stuart, on some platforms you've said find it hard to tell the gradient. Certainly tell that was about to get steep. Oscar doesn't like me getting in front. It's been a hard race this. Appreciate you guys joining me, giving me some motivation. If you have enjoyed it, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate it a lot. Looks like there's some roads underneath the bridge there, look, through the glass floor. Try and explore those in a future race. Yeah, the scenery is very different. Kept it interesting. Right, now onto a downhill section. And about 5k to go then. So how quickly that front group covered this ground. I'm sure me and Oscar will be quite so quick. Just feel like the scenery's just got really big. I'm glad the pace has eased up a bit. The last, well, the previous 5k and hopefully the next few k as well. It's pretty flat to the finish now. Wonder what Oscar's got left in the tank. So he was able to stick on my wheel there, around about 0.6 watts per kilo lower than me. I'm just gonna, oh, I was gonna try and slot in behind him. Try and watch him, make sure he doesn't sprint off without me. So Jose Diaz, Pablo Popovic, João Matthias. And that's your top three, that's your podium. 1 hour, 22 seconds. That's 7 minutes ago, doesn't seem that long. Yeah, I'm not really sure, Damon. You can see at the top, it says I'm currently now 4th out of 6, because some of the riders have left. I'd say it's steadier, yeah. I wasn't really paying attention in the bigger group because I was hanging on for dear life. Two and a half K to go then. Just trying to get some draft save in. Just keeping an eye on Oscar, not wanting to let him go. Don't want him getting the jump on me in these final couple of kilometres. 2.3 to go. This is interesting because I don't know this guy, he doesn't know me. So we don't know each other's strengths. He might be a good sprinter. He might go, well, there we go, look, he's up to 4.9. 5 watts per kilo. You're going to go deep, go long. Let's just stick with him there. Like a long, straight finish. No bends to worry about. I don't think there's any auto braking. I'm not seeing any. I think we're fighting for 13th position. Every position counts. Riding for honour, riding for pride. One kilometre to go then. There's the finish line up ahead. I can see the arch. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, just in case Oscar's watching. All right, let's go. Ah, there we go. Oh. Wow. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. Look at that. Those top two appear at the same time. No gap. There I am, 13th place. Look at the difference in watts, so 272 watts. 3.5 watts per kilo. Look at these guys. First place, Diaz, 374. Popovich, 370. 362. Crazy. Whew. Ah, there we go, my whoosh race. Here's the intermediate sprint sections. That was the first one. For me, 17th there. Need to get me on one of these teams as well. There's a team competition. There's prize money for the teams as well. It's like Danish Pavlova there. Harvey, Clark and Vink. Oh, no, that's in that one sprint. Vink, Knudsen, James Harvey. Yeah, well, they'll maybe Team New Zealand. They got 4 there. So, there we go. Don't know what you made of that. Hard work, that's what it was. Have a look at my stats then. So, menu, ride detail. Look at that start. Really intense at the start. My heart rate averaging 165 or so. Go this ride then. 413 watts for 5 minutes. That's pretty decent by my standards. Yeah. So pretty good. All right, end ride. Tour of the desert. So it is linked to my Strava. You can see that there. Upload. I'll upload. I go back to the lobby. Cool. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. I will be doing some more in MyWhoosh in the future. For now, on to the recovery. Back to work. That's my lunch break done. I'll catch you all again later. So, cheers for tuning in. Please throw a like at the video, subscribe, and I will catch you all again soon. Cheers, everyone. Till next time.